What's going on, everybody? How we doing? What's up, Axot, Blind Assassin? I'm gonna turn this music down in my ears because holy crap, it's loud. Music loud for you guys. I tried to turn it down some. By the way, Magic Gnome, thank you for the 6 months. So Moon, Blind Assassin, Magic Gnome, Homeboy Osiris, Haxot, Sizky 17. Mountain of Sin, 5 months, almost to the 6 months. About to get yourself a blue M. Heck yeah. Just rebuilt the KBD 8X with Lubed Ink's full backspace. Ha! Yeah, sorry about that. Shocks is here, Stash builds boards, X Perms, Muffin of Sin. I think I said, well, I said thank you for the sub, but welcome. Welcome. Let's get that light out of frame. So, Shokan. Oh, Shokan. I haven't seen Shokan in forever. I haven't seen you since the Anthony days. How's it going, man? Are you back? Are you back in class back in session for you over there? How we doing tonight? We have got a fun stream tonight. I'm excited. It's some of you, it'll be the first time you've seen it. A lot of you will be second time you've seen it. This will probably be, at least on our channel, 2 of 4. That's what happens when one of the 2 people in the of the content creators design a board. You build a few of them. So I know Osiris is going to build his in a little while. He's getting his Cerakoted, but it is the Baka60. This is a board that I co-designed with Blind Assassin himself. So I'll talk about it once I show it off. This is actually for someone else. It's not a personal build. It is going to be Gateron inks lubed with, I believe, 205 grade 0. I put that in the build if I am incorrect. He's someone who's not really in the community. He is a friend of a friend who wanted to get a nice custom keyboard. And we got him in on the buy. And I think he's going to be really excited. I think he's going to be really happy. Racing Draft, Talisman Solutions, hello. Welcome. So yeah, other than that, real quick, shout out to our sponsors. Dixie Mech, you can go to mechsondeck.dixiemech.com to pick up a GMK Burgundy Round 3. It's going to be a great set. It already is a great set. I recommend going out and getting it. It's probably one of the few sets that I regret getting rid of. So, unfortunately, at the time, I was just kind of doing away with everything that I owned and to start over. And that was probably the only loss that I was like, shouldn't have done that. But anyway, Next up, we've got switchmod.net/mexondeck, 4% off your order of lube. That will be lubing stabs with 205 grade 0. So if you want to get some awesome stabs lube, 205 grade 0 is the best way to go, or with lubed linears, 3203, 3204. Other options, highly recommend, especially the 3204. So 4% off that. And GMK Metaverse, round 2 right around the corner. January 18th. Be sure to check that out. Last up, but definitely not least, Zap Cables make some of the best cables in the business. He's going to start doing in-stock cables, so be sure to check that out. He's also got some awesome desk mats, so yeah, definitely check all that good stuff out. And let's go. I got everything put on my Nano now, so now I don't have to click. I barely even need this anymore. Here we go. Welcome. It's a little dark. I might actually adjust it again because I am trying. Might bring up the contrast just a smidge. We do have cool news on Metaverse Monday. So hold on real quick. I'm gonna go back to face real quick. Just making some adjustments on the fly. Back at it. Looks different enough to me. Might be of these just the exact same, who knows. So, by the way, another great desk mat. Takes a minute. So, anyway, let's get this bad boy opened. So today we'll be using Zeal stabs and an ANSI PCB. ANSI PCB, as I have stated multiple times, the board was built around that with the idea of the ANSI in place. So we're going to pop this bad boy open and test it real quick. Yeah, he is going all out. But you know, there are some people, there are definitely people that I think are kind of like, I don't care about the community, but I do want to just go all out and get out. Some people are sane and smart and financially forward thinking about just get the one board and get out before you spend infinite amount of money. But yeah, Gateron inks, we've seen them before. We will definitely see them again in future builds. They're one of the most popular. I still need to go through and get all of our guest top 4s and average them out, because that is definitely one of the most, if it's not the most top number 1s, it's the most on the list. Keep ignoring Moon. At your job? I don't know if it is at your job. I am trying not to give out personal information, but it is for one of the 20 people that got in on the Baka. Give out your information. Heine Bush, social security number. Man, you know, I always forget something. And this time scissors, because I did not think, oh, there we go. This was going to be the hardest thing in the world. So real quick. The ANSI. So there it is. That was supposed to do something else and move chat off. But you know, sometimes you mess up. Sometimes you mess up your keys. So dude, Miknos, are you guys still playing Rainbow? Some Siege, some Rainbow Six? I'm just curious how I messed this up. I'm digging this song though. There it is. Oh, it's because I changed it. Yep. Make sure that works. Hey, okay, so I wanted to have something where I could remove, show off, fancy. Very nice. Kinnick, hello. Taking a break. Hopefully not for my sake, man. Game as hard as you want. So, and then let's show off the Baka real quick. Bring you guys back. Bring me back. Tyson told me to tell you that he just pulled it out of the box and it's incredible. He loves it. Nice. Is he streaming right now? I'm like 99% sure this is a, it is, no, Tyson did not get in on the box. This is an anodized one. So literally the same board, different weight. Yep, anodized gray. Number 16. Number 16. Those who don't know, the Baka was a 20. Look, another great. A 20 board run. This is number 16. Get that side profile shot. This is the bread and butter of what I wanted the Baka to be. Yeah, so Meganova, the Bakas, I gave two options. You could get anodized gray, or you could get a raw, which wound up kind of being basically anodized silver. And I gave people the option of raw to save a little money to go get it Cerakoted. I love gray boards. If you haven't figured out, my FL right here is gray. So, you know, I wanted it to be able to handle this down just a smidge. I wanted to keep costs low, and it was kind of more of like, well, I want gray. So I'm just going to make everybody else go gray. But if you don't want to go gray and you want to go do your own thing, I'll give you that option too. So, Anno Gray for life, heck yeah, dude. So, we're going to pop this bad boy open. The screws are in this. Actually, I'm going to probably put the bump-ons first. If you notice, for those who don't know, one of the issues that came up with the Baka is there are no pre-cut holes for bump-ons. That was what we in the business call a fuck-up. A mistake, if you will. It's already been fixed. Everyone in the buy knew that whatever problems or anything that kind of happened, it does add class. It adds sass. I like it. You know, I call it a feature. You can put your bump-ons wherever you want. So I know our mod Rick was talking about wanting to put the strips on. The strips that kind of go like the Rama style strips. So, and then because there were no pre-cut holes, everyone, this is like the little packet everyone gets. I gave them an extra 4 bump-ons because in case there were issues with them not staying. And you can't buy bump-ons outside of like 900 pack or 900 per pack, so got bump-ons for days. Gotta get that flip value, man. So excited to build this. So this will be the, what is this, 10 viewer raid from Tyson. Thanks, man. Where is Tyson? Is he in chat yet? Tyson, appreciate the raid. For those who are here, you can hit exclamation point build. Not exclamation point Baka. But build. We are building a Bacca60. This is a board that I co-designed. The details really quick. It is a sandwich mount board with a fixed layout up until you get to the caps lock. That's the only option I gave. I gave that option because of hot swap PCBs. Most of them don't have stepped. I prefer stepped. That is one thing I don't know what this person wants. I'm gonna do non-stepped, but I know we can get it fixed. MK Ultra Corp, thank you, bud. Is that the MK Ultra? If it is, let me know. Who's this? Chanwook, thank you for the follow. So yeah, and then brass plate, big fat brass weight. Tyson was nice enough to let me use his Cerakoting services, so definitely appreciate that. Biothermally, thank you for the follow, my dude. So, and I have full intention of bringing this to a public group buy. That will happen sometime this year. It is getting details together, and yeah, the curve in person is great. Yeah, it's me. Okay, so real quick, everyone. Once I almost unplug everything. So I don't know if you know this, but MK Ultra is MK Ultra is a great dude. He's offered an amazing service. So he offers foam for a lot of keyboards, and a lot of custom. You can do plate foam or case foam. I'm a huge fan of case foam. FKCNLITT. I guess fucking lit. But MK Ultra has become, I guess the word would be too busy. I read the post, but he got very, very busy. And he started off on basically a machine that was kind of a hobbyist machine, upgraded, and then ran into the nightmare of damage and shipping. So if you hit him up, he is trying to raise some money to get himself back off his feet. I think I plan on donating. He's got some awesome offers if you do donate, like permanent for life percentages off, depending on how much you donate. If someone can link that in the chat, please do. He's a great guy. I've met him in person at the NorCal meetup. He's an awesome dude. Please go help him out. I highly recommend his products. He makes some of the only foam. I don't have, the way my setup is, it's harder for me to get the link, but please, somebody in chat, link it, blast it if you will, because we need him in this community. I don't think a lot of people understand how awesome his role is in this community. We definitely need him. We don't want to see someone as awesome as him providing such an awesome service like him to go under, and we as a community can help this guy out. So anyway, so this is the plate. Like I said, sandwich mount, nothing crazy, but it is a fixed plate. Not going to be a huge issue because these are 5 pins. So who's going under? It's MK Ultra. They're not going under, they're just having a hard time getting back up and running because of a shipping mistake with his new laser. I want to make sure just that everybody knows that is what we need. So anyway, on to the lubing. That's gonna be too big. Pretty standard Lubing Zeal stabs. So I'm actually, before I get started, they do fit. Might as well, before I get too far into the lubing, double check. That's kind of something, you know, we are thinking about going through and updating our, we made a very first, probably our first 10 episodes are kind of like, this is what you do when you get in the hobby. We're thinking about updating it, so that's something else I would add, is if you have a plate that's not open, double check your stabs. It takes 3 seconds, and boom, So, yeah, help MK Ultra. Next on deck is definitely going to help out any way they can. Also got an awesome beard. He's got an awesome beard. Bought Big Laser to keep up with demand. Big Laser shows up broken, looking to raise funds to buy Small Laser to get me through until situation resolved. I love it. So, we can help the community. So, I believe that this community is one of the best communities out there when it comes to kind of like a product. And there is no reason we should not be able to help. I am not digging this song, and I will change it. So Zeal stabs, pretty simple. They are, I would say, up until they're crazy smooth. They're built on being extremely smooth. They're very high quality parts. They are clear, so if you want your R's, G's, and B's to shine through, they can do that. And with these, they are pre-clipped, so what I can show you is the back. The back usually has 4 prongs. 2 that stick out, protrude a little bit. Nothing, just nice and flat and clear. So, one issue that I know that some criticism has had is that sometimes the Zeal stabs pop out the wire, which is tough to fix. I have personally not had that issue. I've worked with Zeal stabs a few times, and the wire popping issue has not happened with me. I'm just going to hope that it does not happen here. We need to test the PCB first. You know what's awesome is when you set up a new scene and then you completely forget to add your audio. So, who needs audio anyway, right? Mining. Alright, sorry about that. There we are. Pro streams, guys. Pro streams. This is why I shouldn't be in charge of anything technical. double pro streams. I wonder if this is the same issue I was having with my USB. So that works. Whoop! Pro streams. There we go. There we go. We're going. Just need to use the Nano. Shout out to Macanova. Help me with the Nano. So I am just taking 2 prongs, 2 metal tweezers, double tapping each little hole, the soldering joints, if you will. And if the music went out, this would be the worst time because it's super quiet. And I think it did. So once I finish this row, we're going to check it. Of course the music went out. Why wouldn't it? There we go. So one thing I love about this PCB is it is VIA compatible. If you don't know what VIA is, it is basically everything you could ever want from a box brand. We're good. Everything you could ever want from a box brand software for key mapping and RGB and all that stuff, but for QMK. And it's got on-the-fly flashing, so you can flash your board. You can flash your board, and it would be able to do it without you having to be like, okay, I forgot one key. Now I have to go back and retry the whole dang thing. So that's pretty awesome. I missed a few. I mean, the downbeat sound like one of those 1970s soul groups. I'm digging the music. What are you guys up to today? 57 of you in chat. Let me know what you guys are up to. Are you building any boards? You got any boards coming in you're excited about? Tell me about them. I love hearing about them, especially when I lube, because lubing's kind of like the most boring part of the entire process. You get it done right, but it takes a little time, and it's just me sitting going over and over. What are you guys excited for? What are some group buys you're getting into? Keycap group buys. The SPACC today. Waiting for my Mizu kit to come in. Heck yeah, printers. I got Mizu. It's sick. Best sounding board I own. Heck yeah, dude. Sounds good. Lubing today with 205 grade 0. Also, Dixie, if you're in the chat, let me know. I've got a fun little surprise for Dixie. If not, someone let him know that I'm requesting and need his service. Building the boardwalk into an SKB60. Nice. All that ortho linear. Hope I can get a Mizu Extra. Man, I hope so too. I think it is a great set that came out much better than I anticipated. And it was one of those sets that I kind of hopped on whenever I got the opportunity. Want to build a 40% daisy board, thinking about using some cherry silent reds from an old Corsair board. You do you, man. No, I'm just playing. I'm just not a big fan of reds, but... Lubing Zeal V2s. Hopefully I'm entertaining you, probably not, because, I mean, it's me. You talk to me enough, right, Osiris? But, for those who don't know, Osiris got his OSA in. He's going to be building his OSA next week. Gets the switches ready for that. Watching this, I have nothing else to do. Magic Gnome, you're the man. You're the boss. Like, the show Who's the Boss? It's Magic Gnome. That's what it is. Typically, I will lube my stabs a little bit heavier than this. I like, you know, there's kind of a few, I guess there's the main school of thought is to get the switch to feel like it is not a stabilized switch. That is a popular opinion of I Me, You Are You, which is a great guy. You should go check him out. As well as Osiris. They both have that. And then I guess the other one is lube how you want, which is kind of my thought is I like creamy. I don't view it as another switch. A stabilized switch has its purpose. It's big for a reason. So I want it to feel a specific way. And that is how I lube my spacebar. I want to be creamy. I want it to be probably have a little more resistance, which honestly came from a decision we'll talk about in a second. But I want it to have some resistance. I want it to be extra smooth because that's just what I prefer. When I started building, I built with box whites, and an issue I was having is those thick click switches are so heavy. Those click bars are so heavy that when you lube up a stabilizer pretty heavy, it makes it difficult for the entire switch to reset because you're already fighting this thick piece of metal, really, the click bar, and because of that, you run into issues of it resetting. So what I wound up doing to counteract that is I decided to put a box pale blue in the spacebar. So I had a heavier spacebar. So for like 2 months, I always had a heavier spacebar. So I think over time, what that translated to is, hey, you're going to need a little more force to push this down, and you're going to need something heavier to make sure that it resets. Some sort of spring weight that's a lot heavier. So, that's what I do now. I fell in love with it. It lets you lube it so that you don't have to worry about it ever not resetting. You don't have to worry about it being scratchy. And lubing your stabs, if your springs are heavy enough, it's not going to make it feel like it's a sluggish... I mean, you can, like, super overdo it. I personally have not. But I think that it is good enough. Oh, that might have been too much. To smear some over here. Second. All right. There we go. How's everybody doing? We're getting some solid numbers. I appreciate everyone coming by. So right now I'm lubing some Zeal stabs for the Bacca60. is a board that I co-designed with Blind Assassin. He's got some fun stuff coming out. The SP111 just finished up. Awesome board. Typed on it at a meetup a few months back. He does some amazing work. Blind, are you in chat? Jeremy57 with the lurk. Hard lurk, I love it. Welcome. Blind, I don't know if you, like, he designs boards obviously, and you can, oh, he's I don't know if you're open right now to commissions. If you are, let me know. Throw it in chat or PM me and I'll check my phone and pretend like nothing happened. But if you are, hit him up. He does great work. He has not only been a great business partner, he has become, depends on the person. He's not only a great business partner, he has become a solid friend as well. Technically an IRL friend too. Those are hard to come by in the keyboard community. Guess I should get these going. Magic Gnome, we'll get you out somewhere sometime, bud. You're important. Magic Gnome is one of the OGs. He's been a fun guy to have in the Discord. Getting blown up. Who's this? An Android new subscriber, 159 with 5 subs. Thank you very, very much. Feels like half the mechs on deck. It's just that a lot of the people in Dallas, a lot of the keyboard community in Dallas is closely in ties with mechs on deck. That is because a lot of us are, you know, we've hung out post meetups, we've set stuff up, so can't wait to meet Charles at KeyCon. I can't read him, man. All the air horns, I love it. Kennick with the 5 months. Kennick is another one of the OGs. Definitely appreciate it. Yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for KeyCon. More air horns. Thank you guys. Twitch Prime, yeah. Consider, you know, you get a, if you are an Amazon Prime member and you have your channels linked up, be sure to know that you can use your you can use 1 month free subscription if you have Prime somewhere on Twitch. You do not have to use it on us, but we definitely appreciate it if you do. Join the mechies on deckies. When does the alarm stop? I will go in and manually stop it here in just a second. I'm just, hands are a little busy. Everybody's subbed to this, man. I appreciate it. These men. Cyrus, 50%. Mix on deck, mod squad. What is this emote? 65%. That is an emote. That is what it is. Layout is absolutely. You know, if you're gonna make a board, I don't care how good it is. I don't care how sweet it looks. It's a 65. Count me out. Oot. And honestly, it's not, I mean, that's, once again, you're allowed to have your preferences. Everyone's entitled to their opinion. Another reason, you know, I wouldn't want to be someone. There are people, kind of like Osiris, who their favorite layout is 65%. Think about this. If I got in on a Bower, being someone who doesn't even like the 65%, and I just got it because I was like, oh, it's kind of cool, I might be taking away that. Wow, this is, did I install all of these wrong? Or is it just that one? I think it's just that one. Okay. Yep, 100% is that one. I would be taking away an amazing board and the perfect layout, potentially, to someone else. I wouldn't want to do that, that's me. I like TKO. Like, I'm not solely set on 60%. I like 75%, I like TKOs, I like full size. 65% to me is just this added extra that I don't need. I mean, that's literally it. It's just I get 6 keys that I really don't love. I don't kill people for a delete key on the main row. I understand the people that need it on the main row. Page up, page down, delete, and arrow keys. My answer to that is, what if you need those arrow keys? I will use a board that has arrow keys. Simple as that. Full size, I sort of have a full size coming with the Austin. It's as close to a full size as you can get in this community without it just being like the TX108. I would totally get a TX108 if shipping wasn't more expensive than a tofu. But shipping was more expensive than a tofu. I use arrows every day. I don't, and that's just the thing. Like, what I use for how I operate in day to day, I don't. And if I do, I have easy access to them. So I'm not hating on people that like 65%. I completely understand where you're coming from. It's a solid layout for those who need it but want minimum capacity on their boards. But end of the day, it's just not for me, and so I'm not gonna sit here and go, oh, this is the best board ever, because personally, that's not how I feel. Don't want to lie to people. Wrong way. Whoopsies. There we go. You are making someone cry tonight if you own a board you won't use. And that was, you know, there are 60% boards are I'm gonna have a lot. I have a lot right now. I'm going to own more, I know, just in the future. Those are interchangeable. When I get to like the 75%, I don't own one, but I want a Godspeed 75. I've got a TKL coming in. I got rid of one because I don't need 2 TKLs. I've got a full size coming in. The only other full size one or CP kind of style layout board I would want would be a round 1 TX CP. But those 3 are kind of the only ones that I'm like, those are the only real layouts that I would want. So I guess it's 75. I plan on it. Racing Draft, I'm glad that you got into it. For those who don't know, Racing Draft actually won our first kind of like big keyboard giveaway. and it was a burgundy tofu, and it was a fantastic board. I do want to get, I'm thinking about, you know, I've got 3 brass plate 60% boards. I am thinking about traversing into different plate materials. Just for some variety. Almost wrapping up with stabs, just gotta test it. Yeah, 159 is awesome. So for those who don't know, we're going to be having 159 or 159. For those who don't know, 159 is the owner, operator, vendor of Project Keyboards. He's an awesome dude, fun dude to talk to. And he's going to be chatting it up tomorrow on Mechs on Deck. Sorry, Frops. I was just talking up the Godspeed 75. You just missed it. Let's get some more Dixie Mech. All right. I'm so excited for this. I hope this comes through. That's like my biggest fear, is that for whatever reason, it doesn't come through. Let's do this. Oh, it didn't come through. Well, now I'm upset. I just have a video of your face showing up. It worked? It didn't come in for me. It worked. One more time. Just for this is one of my favorite clips. So basically, anytime I see Dixie in the chat say anything one last time. Should replace the air horn? Maybe. You know, the air horn was great. It had its moment. It had its time. But maybe we move on. Maybe we switch it up. I'm starting a petition. Absolutely. Okay, so let's get... By the way, if you're a frequent builder, I did this, and you have caps you don't use frequently, and you don't mind mixing and matching. Perms, thank you for the 100 bits. Definitely appreciate it. I'll give you one of those. You have caps you don't use, but you build a lot. Throw a couple of those caps. Small back. Boom, now you got stabilizers. Little quick tips for Mechs on Deck. Well worth 100 bits. The raid noise does make more sense. So here's one more time. We're talking about it. I was very excited I talked to Osiris about it, and like we were trying to get, or he's waiting on a PCB for one of his boards, and I was like, man, I'm gonna have to wait a whole week to bust that out. Stabs feel good. On to soldering. Some anchor switches. I approve that move. I know Mekanova will love that move. The air horn was 2019. Alright, it's 2020. Let's get our crap together. Select bass. New decade, new sound, exactly. Dixie Man, thank you for that. And I know my wife will be happy that she doesn't have to listen to that a lot because I played it like 100 times in one day trying to get it all figured out. So. Plus, I added the face. It's a little, he's smiling. It's a little, it's a lovely. He's got that beautiful, beautiful face. If you haven't figured out, I'm attracted to Dixie Mac. Secrets out, boys. The year of SA revival. I don't know. Can you revive? The revival would have had to start last year because 14-month factory times. Fire. Who is it? So, solder's up. For those who are curious, I solder at 660 degrees. So it's a little high for some people that might suggest. I just like being able to solder quick. So I heard there's a Baka. Well, you recognize the plate. It is in fact a Baka. The Baka is sitting right there. You can kind of see it, the corner of it, sitting on my desk. Baka boys, absolutely. Take it right in the lungs. Yeah, man. I need to get a little small fan. I have a fan over my desk, but I try and make it so my setup, for those curious, I used to stream at the desk behind me. The desk behind me is where I stream our normal shows. I used to stream on that side, but I wanted to have my setup be a little bit more away from my desk. I spend a lot of my time at my desk. At the end of the day, I was like, I work on Next on Deck streaming wise a couple hours a week, a handful of hours, 6 to 8 hours a week. Unless it's a 24-hour stream, then it's a lot more. But I was like, well, I want the ability to have kind of my desk and then have the build area. So I set this up, and I've got 3 cables that run along this wall right here. And it takes me moving the camera, 1 light, which I'll eventually get another light, and switching 2 plugs for me to be able to go from over there to over here. And so that is that story. I'll be 100% honest, I forgot why I was even saying that. But I just am proud of what I did. Oh, the fan, duh. Congratulations, you all just experienced what my wife deals with on a daily basis, starting a story and forgetting why you even started it. So I've got this fan that's right there, and that used to be great, and then I was like, oh, I just like having a fan on me all the time. Solder time. Delphin, man, you are all about the solder, and I love it. PM me in Discord, so I can change your name in Discord. That's the solder soldier, the solder homie. Delphin with 25 cheers, thank you, bud. I'll give you one of these.
Flippity piss.
We are done leaving. Looks like our music went out. Nope, don't like that. There's that audio. Osiris was going to come over, but was not feeling well. Fix some stuff on my stream. We'll get there. With all difference, what? Slapping the bass is an awful alert? I think it's a great alert. Camera was doing a fun thing. But yeah, I just need to get one of those tiny little fans that it's like battery powered. Right there. Whenever I solder, I've got a few more things to make this setup like the perfect setup. Just waiting on that next paycheck, yo. Accurate. Although I'm not feeling this song. That is my preference, is I'm not feeling this song. Is there like, Osiris, if you're listening, I'm pretty sure you are. Is there like a what you've listened to in the past section of this audio? I remember one thing. I remember one person. I'm gonna have to sit down one day and make a playlist. I thought I hit play, or is this just an extremely quiet? Nope, I didn't hit play. There we go. This is much better. If my dog barks in the next few minutes, my apologies. So just be weary. My dog's going to bark in the next, like, 10 minutes. So for those who don't know, those who are curious, midnight mail delivery, we got our trash guys walking around. He definitely like the trash people. But yeah, check us out on YouTube. You can go hit subscribe. If you can't catch our streams, we upload all of our streams to YouTube. So out of here 019. My dog is very trashist. Out of here 019, welcome. Bacca60, if you don't know, is a 60% board that I co-designed with Blind Assassin. I am building this for a customer. I had a small Civi private buy run back in October. And I do Cartoon 91, welcome. I do plan on taking this board to public group buy. Join our Discord. Out of here 019, well, thank you for the follow. Join our Discord. I will update on that. For you Baka users, the ones that do have it, inks go in super easy. So, I mean, Holy Pandas and all of that, the Zycos, those have some issues getting into boards. I will say, these are just gliding right in. So we're about to get to some soldering. I'm gonna double check my pen situation. So I'm going to take a quick second. I have to use the restroom. I drink a lot of water today. It's important to stay hydrated. I will be right back in just a sec. Hey, Morpheus. There he is. Morpheus, I'm about to start soldering. Be sure to check that out. This is a build for Morpheus. So I will be right back, like 2 minutes. You gotta show off the dog at some point. Although I really hope he doesn't bark right here. That would suck. Look. Right there. There he is. Look at that face. Woof woof. We need to get some Howie and Squid and Anubis emotes stat. Just one. Get us back in. Let the audio users know I'm back with Dixie, letting them know. Don't tell them this. So I'll be starting the soldering and probably blabbering my way through it. So Gateron inks exploded. It was kind of, to me, Gateron inks is like the epitome of, while they are good on their own merit, it was like people in the community, higher ups, content creators, well-known keyboard enthusiasts, and all of that jazz. Basically, we're like, hey, these are awesome. These are hype. These are fantastic. You should buy them. And it was early summer when they kind of came out of last year. Late spring, early summer. And a couple people said they're great. And as all communities go, if someone says something is great, then it is great. Preference is emphasized, but yes, you will get to a point where, you know, you shouldn't feel like you can't say something, but it is the responsibility of content creators to understand. It's a two-way responsibility, but it's the responsibility to understand that as a content creator, what you say is basically what's written in stone. And so, you know, understand that, but it's also up to the viewers and the community as a whole to do your own research, make your own preferences. Don't listen to somebody else. What I will say is you should try them. You know, if someone says, hey, this is great, you know, maybe try and find someone who has them that you can try. Maybe buy 10. Most switches, unless it's here, hold on real quick. Just a moment. This stop. This playlist is over. On to the next. Rick, say one more thing in the chat for me. You know, as a consumer, you need to, and thank you for saying one more thing. So as a consumer, you need to understand that you need to make your own decisions based off your own preferences. The best way to test out your own preferences, well, second best way. The actual best way would require a lot of money, which is buy a hot swap board, buy a crap ton of switches, and start testing. The next best way is go to a meetup if you can, if you are fortunate enough, if one is close enough to you that you can get to it. Rick Clack, 6 months, thank you for the sub. If you are close enough, go to one, try out as many boards as you can. Really, you know, take notes. I remember at the Houston meetup, there was a guy walking around taking notes. I was like, there you go, getting his job, doing it right. Still love Gat Yells. Gat Yells are great. Scare the crap out of them. Cartoon 91. we'll work on it. We'll get it taken care of. That is more of an Osiris thing. He's very good about getting all that stuff done. He is much better with the technical side of streams. As I'm the person that goes live without audio on one of his channels. So, yeah. Give and take. That's why Mechs on Deck works. It's give and take. Osiris is opinionated, and so when a decision needs to be made, he's like, I'm gonna do it. Let's do it this way. And I'm like, I don't really care. I don't have an opinion. He's like, we should do it. And I'm like, thank you for making the decision for me. That's why I wouldn't be able to do this on my own, because I can't make decisions on a lot of things. But anyway, Gateron inks, through their own merit, is a great switch. Gateron inks are they're basically extremely smooth, linear switches. They have a 70-gram bottom out. Actually, I think maybe it's 70-gram actuation. I believe it's either 70-gram bottom out, 70-gram actuation. If memory serves, it's a 70-gram bottom out and a 60-gram actuation. Morpheus, thank you for the 100 bits. Definitely appreciate it. Gonna throw one of these in there. No, neither of us. I think we could probably be build streamers, but I don't think. I think it's one of those things that. Why would we do it separately when we are better together? But yeah, so. It's a fantastic switch. I'm just waiting for a board to build inks on. I had a board. The only reason I wound up selling the board with the inks in them because I thought that it would help sell the board more, and it did. And so I do plan on getting more and getting back into the ink game. It's only a matter of time, or as some people say, when, not if. Or not if, but when. I do have a top 4. Switches and inks would probably be number 5. Just because inks were number 4 until I've created a Zyko. And then after that, it kind of got pushed out. But my only complaint, and not even really a complaint, it's just more of like, all right, well, it's not there. 60-70, that's what I thought. Take old bit 1. Thank you. So the sound, while better than what we have grown accustomed to with what some of the best switches readily available, I know that there's only a few rounds of the retooled blacks, so those can be hard to get. Vintage blacks are obviously hard to get. Mykonos lube these, alright. Leafs did fall out. Leafs did have problems. I believe they have either taken the proper steps to fix them, or they have already fixed them. But they don't sound as thocky as creams, but for someone who loves the sound of Holy Pandas, and the reason Holy Pandas are above the list than Zealios is because of sound. that's kind of why. That's where that came from. So, inks are great. I personally am going to spring swap mine, just because I like them a little heavier. I built a board with Duroc linears, which are very similar. Some might say suspiciously similar, but I'm not going to really get into that. 2 Gateron inks. Good friend of the stream. Did his with 80s. I really liked it. Inks versus Telios. I would say inks. I think inks sound a little bit better. So that's probably the end of that playlist. Let's check it. Nope, it's not. There it is. Yeah, that ink board was fantastic. I loved it. Every ink board I've typed on and I've built, I have fallen in love with it. So I'll probably wind up using this Baka for a little bit as opposed to the other Baka. Because at this state in time, I'm still in possession of soon-to-be 2 built Bakas, soon-to-be and 2 unbuilt Bakas. Give me linears one more try. So. Existentially yours, party of 3. Thank you, man. Thank you very, very much. If I had to use one switch for the rest of my life, what would it be? That's a fantastic question. The answer is Zycos. What is a Zyco? Well, no, there's no it's because I didn't do the exclamation point. Boom. Zycos would be my end-all be-all switch. If I got out of the hobby, I would keep 2 boards. If I got out of the hobby and I was only allowed to keep 1 board, it would be a Baka with Zycos in it. If I got out of the hobby and I was allowed to keep 2 boards, it would be my Baka with Holy Pandas in it and my Fiel with Zycos in it. Spring weight in Zycos, 78 grams. The Zycos are extremely tactile, so you have to get something that will help it reset, or else it will be sluggish on the reset. I think Moon has used it with 67 grams. He liked it. I think he liked it a good bit, but I would recommend a heavier spring. It is a heavy switch. It is a heavy tactile switch. It is not recommended for... If you're like someone who is a diehard red ink fan, maybe don't immediately switch to a Zyco. The best thing I can describe it is it feels like a Zelio V2, but with a harsher bottom out, which I like, a more intense bump, and sounds closer to a Holy Panda than a Zelio. What should I leave my 78 gram Zycos? Probably, I would honestly probably do 70 or 72, 3203. 3204 is great. but I think it does make them feel like very intense at first. If you can get through that, then go for it with the 3204 because it's going to overall be better at the end of the day. But 3203 is going to get the job done regardless. So let's see. It is very expensive. Raid more 3204 Cyrus. Hyped on mine. Yeah, man, I got shipping notification today. Cartoon 91. Music's dead. Where's the music? Killed it. By the way, if you can get your hands on one of these, I would. This doesn't work yet. They haven't figured out that yet, I guess. I don't know. I'm excited. I mean, it looks cool. It'll be fun to adjust audio eventually. Really well made. I put OG Holy Pandas in this. I still need to work on the stab on this thing. This is the Bento Nano, or I guess this is called, it's the Keywork Nano in the Bento, the limited edition Bento. They do have regular Nanos you can get in a couple different colors. This one just came with some custom caps from Bento and a custom colorway, as well as a custom bottom brass plate. Shout out to Macanova for helping me get this set up. Although I screwed up. So this is actually a funny story. So I have it set up to numpad numbers because I don't ever use a numpad, and so numpad numbers can get me to switch from here to, well, I can even bring it here to here. So this button corresponds from that. It helps me switch scenes. So if I want to go back to my face only, I click that button and I go back to my face. Very unique, very helpful. If I have the bigger button, so let's go back here. I have the big button set to control. So I was like, oh, if you can do it in OBS, you can hit one and then hold another for two switches. But if I do that, whenever I hold control and hit that, it will also run the other one. So I was trying to get this set up on basically a second layer and do this. Oh, that didn't work. I was trying to get it to do that. But I realized I would always have to change my scene, so I basically just ixnayed on that, and I'll probably have to have it up again. Which I feel bad, because he's done a lot of work for me. Macanova is a great dude. So we did a good job, nailed it on the first try, which never happens. For me, I always forget one. What PC case is that over your right shoulder? Oh, flip. It's NZXT. Osiris, help me out. I bought it for my wife. I don't remember the name of it. H500i, thank you. Split right shifts. Let's take it back. So this is what I do for this. For those who are curious, for my layout for what I think is the perfect for me, and it's not the best because it's all perfect. Split right shift on a 60%. So what I use this is a Win keyless. This is my Windows key. Is over here. And then I have my caps lock is bound to my function because I don't need caps lock on my front row. I don't think most people, it's kind of a dead key in my opinion. There are a few dead keys on the 60% layout, I still think, like brackets. I don't really use brackets that much. But these three are kind of dead keys. So I have my function over here, I have my Windows, so I actually do have a Windows. I have been using Windows more and more lately, but ever since switching to that, problem solved. So let's get this bad boy in. So before I get into it, I'm going to talk about a problem that I had with the Baka. So I had some case rattling issues, and I'm curious to know if this one's going to have the same thing. I fixed it by putting in some felt washers. So in between, basically what was happening, and here I'll take us back. Basically what was happening is this top piece, so it's a sandwich mount. So basically there's nothing putting this in. This is just kind of resting in place. This isn't independently screwed into anything. So this sits on top, and what's happened before is that the metal right here is actually, there's a just small enough gap that it's causing vibrations to rattle. Basically all I did is I threw those little felt like screw washers that you get on some stabilizers, and I put them in there, completely made everything so much better. So I'm hoping, some people have reported that was the issue, some have not. I'm hoping that this is the case. As for those who don't know, I did not proto this. The proto is in reality the 20 board run I did. Most everyone kind of knew that. So explain this. Sarcasm at its finest. This is a sandwich mount because this part, while it rests in there, the case is not independently screwed in, or the plate is not independently screwed in. I cannot screw it this way. You cannot. There's no way. I mean, you could if you, I guess, like epoxied it in there, but they just fall all the way in. So. Caps lock isn't even mapped for me for where caps is. So yeah, where I have caps lock is on my second layer. It's on tab. Control plus escape is the same as Windows key. There we go. So yeah, so it is unable to be done. So one thing that another shout out to Blind Assassin. So he's got these relief cuts. Not relief cuts, but indents to help prevent your top and bottom piece from being uneven. So it's nice and smooth on the side. The seams are nice. More people should do that, by the way. Yeah, you'd have to have some strange screws for that. I have found that the best way to screw in the Baka just to keep everything in place. Get 2 in, and then I just kind of work my way out. There's no right or wrong way. Just make sure it's all in there nice and super secure. That's a little too dark. Right there. Put the Baka a little bit more. So this board, to me, is just everything that I wanted in a keyboard, and that's why it was made. Fixed, honestly, the 2 big ones, really, for those interested who are new here, was the side profile. So we've seen a lot of the opposite, where it's thick down here. This part is kind of down here, and then it goes off. But I wanted the front. Here, let me. I wanted the front. Flip this around. To be this little indent. So that is why I chose that. And then the other big thing is fixed plate. So you can't see the PCB at all. I'll put a vote up for caps. The only part of the PCB you can see is on the caps lock, because caps lock does not affect switch alignment, and I went over earlier about how some PCBs are hot swap. So but I have some caps put over here, but I want to try this twitch pole thing, so I'll put a few options in. But I am someone who likes having everything nice and neat around me. I'm sure he's got caps, but I was not. I'm just gonna put some of mine on. So. The house, there you go, perfect. Alright, let's get this thing. I have like 9 messages on Discord. Heck yeah. So yeah, let me get this set up. So my music's about to go out, so. Oh, I'm out of him. Come on. Alright, let's work on this pole. I think that's everything off my board at the moment. Do I have anything else? Nothing that I know people would want. I'm gonna put this up for 3 minutes. It's gonna be a standard. I've got like options. I've never done this before. We've got like options where you can vote, and it's a bit per vote, which is the most like shilly thing I think I've ever seen. It's like, heck yeah, more votes. If we were doing something crazy, then maybe, but I also feel like that might break some sort of rule. Subscriber votes get 2 counts, subscriber only. So interesting. Starting that poll. I will be right back, like 30 seconds. I'm back. I have my suspicions on the vote. Whoa, we actually have an interesting tie. Alright. We're halfway done. So we've got minimal, Mizu deep space, or Mizu deep space. Minimal will have Mr. Sleeves on it. Mr. Sleeves and Hander Bite. Vote, I believe, is at the top of chat. We are almost done. Get your last votes in. If you want to see Mizu go on Reddit, I love it. Improvade, thank you for the follow, my dude. Hit us up on those: Discord, YouTube, Instagram. Already seen a Baka too. Alright, we're gonna end it here in just a second. Probably should have done 2 minutes. Mr. Sleeve, or Mr. Sleeves plus minimal, mini sleeves, as someone said. Got 10 votes for that, with 4 and 4 to the other 2. Let's get this thing going. Kind of figured. I pulled, these 2 are sitting on my desk already. But, you know, power to the people, right? Democracy. Well, I'm genuinely curious if I accidentally took the only shift I had. So, don't need those. And I lost a cap. Alright. It's not a build if I don't drop something. Yeah, I think that's kind of why I got minimal, was the fact that it kind of is an open slate, and then minimal to me got and will be better. Personally, I got the icon mods. Cyrus and I went in, and he likes the black and white look. I like the clean. Not that he doesn't like it. I don't like the others, but we split the like icon modifier extension kit for black and white and minimal, or sorry, white on black in minimal. So that's why we went for it. We were like, all right, well, let's just. I want that. You want that. Let's split it. So easy money. Also, I don't know if anyone else caught it, but last stream I totally put my period and commas backwards, and I'm sure it's there. My dog is being a derp. Three stabs per board is very nice. I built an Austin, and it took me an hour and 20 minutes before I streamed to get that done. Where are my keys? I'm cheating. There's a board right here. So I know most of it, but it's always the apostrophe and quotations and colon that mixes me up. And then the, like this is already messed up. You already see that. But I do cheat sometimes. So, but yeah, no shame, dude. It's a lot of places. I'm sure if I sat down and wrote it out, I could get 90% of it done. Probably 99% of it. So I just know QWERTY, UIOP, ASD. So QWERTY, UIOP, ASDF, GH, JKL, ZX, CVB, and then boom. I couldn't rattle it off on key size, but I know if I couldn't like enter a game show to try and win it to see how fast. Maybe to the average person key size, but I definitely know that I would have to sit there and be like, wait a minute, time out, let me think about this for a quick sec. Whoops, that one almost behind the desk. The Twitcher156, thank you for the follow. Definitely appreciate it. So as I'm wrapping up, I'll say thank you again to Tyson. Just some reiteration. Thank you again to Tyson and MK Ultra. Someone post that link again if you don't mind, because MK Ultra needs the community's help, and the community is awesome, and I know can help him. What happened with MK Ultra? He ran into some business problems and some unfortunate missteps. Not missteps on his end, but problems due to shipping, breaking what his big investment is to help double the size of his business. So Morpheus, thank you for the next 100 bits. Let me get this out of the way. There it is. Lower the light a little bit more. Let me see if I can zoom in. Sometimes that will. Bacca60, Gateron, Inks, Stock Springs, Lube 205 grade 0, Zeal Stabs with the ANSI, and Wind Keyless. Looks like Bento. Very, very awesome set. So. Time for some sound, but can it type? That's a good question, my friend. So this is going to have the rattles. Yep, so we can fix that. That might actually even help the sound some. I'm going to have to go grab some stuff for it. So let's see if you can hear it. Here, let me go get my other Baka for reference. Oh, I don't know why I put that up. Okay, so what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be tapping right here because this is where the issue is. So I'm going to tap quietly. You can hear there's nothing. It just sounds like I'm tapping on metal because that's what I'm doing. And here, let's see if I can actually hear it. You can kind of hear a rattle. Definitely worse on that side. And all I'm doing is just hitting right here. So we're going to, by the way, for a sound comparison, Lubed Zeal's are very quiet. Or Lubed Gateron inks are very quiet. I will be right back. I'm going to grab the thing I can do to fix this. Alright, so we're back. So how do you fix this rattle? And honestly, you can do this with a couple different boards, if they're wind keyless specifically, especially. So let's get some music back on. So what we're going to be doing is we're going to take this piece. What these are little felt they're like felt washers, and what we're going to do is place them on the inside right there. And what that's going to do is create kind of like a gasket, but really just helps from metal on metal touching, and it's going to kind of clean up the sound a bit. If you do notice, this is something, these are all, like I said, these are all protos. So this is very close. I'm going to, oh, and there that goes. But I'll be able to grab that because I have to take the whole dang thing off anyway. So yes, these are very close. A lot of these issues I have already been addressed. On one side or both, I'm going to be putting them on both because symmetry of feel. Quick fix, and then we're going to wrap it up for the night. Definitely want to appreciate you all. Once again, we're going to be having 159 or 159 of project keyboards out tomorrow, 8 p.m. Central Standard Time. You can check our schedule, which has been updated. I do need to add the builds because we are actually getting a backlog of builds. If you want to send us builds, PM myself or Osiris on Discord, and we'll be happy to assist you. We can talk pricing and all of that good stuff. And we'll be happy to build you some boards. We've talked about wanting to get to the point where we'd love to do a build each a week. Right now we've got the next 6 weeks planned of 1 build a week. We'd love to grow a little bit more. So if you have boards that you want us to build, let us know. Send us a PM on Discord. We are always happy to help. And yep, it's in the spacebar. Just one more time, what happened? What had happened was we've got some metal on metal intermingling. And the fix, it's not a permanent fix, it's not the most pretty fix, but it is a fix nonetheless. We're going to simply place them as such. Like I said, what that's going to do, it's going to prevent metal on metal touching. It's going to take in some of that absorbing. You can do this on other wind keyless boards if there is if there's big enough gap or a small enough gap between the wind keyless blockers and the board itself. You can kind of put them anywhere. Just be careful because you might get some warping, at least on the sides. So what we're going to do is just be careful. Flip it upside down. Like I said, it's not the prettiest, but it works. It gets the job done. For a board that I'm not in the situation, I'm not in the ability to go back and fix everyone's boards. It was very much known. Like, hey, this is basically a proto run. If there are issues, I'm going to do my best to solve them or figure out a way to solve them. And so far, this is the way I figured out to solve this problem. I used medical tape on the KBD, the aero cluster, and the nav cluster areas, and I understand the top case. Recover this a little better. How will you fix the final design? I've got a lot of fixes. I'm going to be going over that in a video whenever I do the release. What we have done is provided more space in the wind keyless section. We have implemented bump-on cutouts or inlets. We are going to be moving the wind keyless blocker over some. So yeah, let me go on. So, muted sound, completely gone. It just, I mean, it's simple shock absorption. It's not a pretty fix, but it works. So, quick and easy. Quiet. It's quiet sounding. I think it's a fine board. It feels good. If you want a quieter board at work and you don't feel like you don't feel the need to get like a Xylent, I mean, this is quiet. This is not going to offend anybody. That might if you're sitting there going, but it's super smooth. So yeah, it's slapping the bass one more time. Slapping the bass. Anyway, that is the Baka build. There will be more Bakas to build. For my bud Morpheus. Used to do a typing test. I just did like a quick little type. So, didn't hear anything but the mods. I can do a quick one. It's quiet. So, last typing test real quick. Whew, Morpheus with 600 bits. Thank you. I very much appreciate that. Huge shout out to Morpheus. So we are going to be wrapping up real quick. mexondeck.dixiemech.com. Go pick up Gene K Burgundy. If you like Dixie, definitely go use that code, help support us, and get stuff that the man himself does. He's a great dude. Raid McMerlin. I will probably do that because I love raiding McMerlin. Switchmod.net/MexOnDeck for 4% off your lube. Today's stream was lubed with 205 grade 0 on both the stabs and the switches. So definitely, if you want to get some lube that I used today in the stream, be sure to check that out. And he's also got springs, and GMK Metaverse is on the way, so be sure to stay tuned for that. And last but not least, Zap Cables make some of the best cables out there. He's going to be having in-stock cable soon. Very excited to see that. And tomorrow, 159, my partner in crime, Osiris, and I will be talking with 159 of Project Keyboards tomorrow at 8 p.m. So thank you very, very much. I definitely appreciate it. It's been a very awesome stream, very fun stream. I am very excited. It's the one thing that about doing streams at night on a weekday is I'm like, yeah, that was awesome. I'm so pumped to go to bed. So, but yeah, hit me up on Discord if you have any questions. If you want us to build your keyboards, hit myself up or Osiris. We are going to find Mr. McMerlin and start this raid. I very much appreciate it. You guys have been awesome tonight. Thank you. We'll do one last little Dixie bit. Because it's so good. So, and thank you for all the new followers, Morpheus for all the bits, accidentally yours, and Tyson for the raids, all the resubs, all the follows. Definitely appreciate it. Go check out Mech Merlin. He does some great stuff. And yeah, MK Ultra, be sure to check him out. Check out his stuff. He's got some. He just needs a little push in the right direction financially, and I know we can get him there. Thank you guys. We will see you tomorrow.